am a self-proclaimed um, social media, let's see, digital marketing, uh, software developer, producer, engineer. Like, um, I haven't quite found the word to make it smaller. I mean, make it just one word. But essentially, my company, Ladybugpromo Solutions, well, actually, let's go backstory. I started a nonprofit organization, 501c3 tax exempt organization, back in '07. So it's called Nurture Future Youth Incorporated. And so, um, actually, it's even before that. No, go back more. Eclectic. Sorry. Before my nonprofit organization. Back in '03, that's when I really started doing virtual. Um, I wanted to be like a virtual assistant where, let's say, in the music industry, I noticed that where I was from, people weren't being able to get their music out, and they weren't being able to develop as an artist and become like, they didn't have a platform to market their music and get it on like large networks like the BETs, the MTVs, the things like that. So I thought to myself, I wanted to do something on the internet to be able to help communicate to the outside world that, hey, there's talent here too in my hometown or whatever, because it's very small. So that's when I basically got into doing virtual assisting for, bless you, I got into virtual assisting for artists. Um, so with getting into that space and wanting to be behind the scenes and, I guess, say deploy, in the app world we say deploy a person basically. um, I kind of created, that's what I created. I kind of created like a, a, a gaming app with partnering with Xbox and Microsoft Office, where the artist basically became like an avatar. And so um, over time, it's just been going and going and going and developing to where I basically have my own production of the talents. So I kind of integrated myself into the networks with the BET and the MTV, and now as you see, people have they also are starting their own networks like Revolt. Um, um, I'm working with a guy now, Heavy Enterprise LLC, where he's also started his own. They call it, what was it, event network and things like that. So to me, in my mind, I was the original back in '03 with, you know, integrating into the social media and crossing over to making my own network and creating my own satellite, so to speak. And so, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, got it. It sounds like you've been doing a lot of things in the entertainment space. It sounds like you've had a lot of experience working with various, yeah, big name networks and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just curious, what would you say is, yeah, in your work with entertainment companies, particularly, of course, as it relates to games, since that's kind of like our interest,
Hmm.
um, how would you say that you kind of measured the success of these apps and games that you're talking about? Like, how would you be able to tell if your work was being successful or not?
Well, I measure it on the. See, that's where I can now speak on the nonprofit organization, which was to break the cycle of poverty and break the cycle of just any cycles that a person wants to break in their own life, um, and divinity as well. Any beliefs or things like that, even myself, that would stop them that would stop them from achieving whatever it is that they want to achieve, whether it's owning a home, whether it's, you know, having generational wealth. So to me, what measures the success is if the person's quality of life has gotten better or gotten worse, and and due to the metaverse or the gaming space that we've created to be able to generate these funds and make these passive income scenarios, and not be stopped by any oppressors who want to stop us from doing anything because we're seen, you know, we're it's televised. So in that instance, you can't stop it because everybody can see what's going on, and how if a certain group is being stopped from doing something um, that they want to do in any industry, whether it's housing industry, whether it's music industry, whether it's um, gaming industry, what film, whatever it is, it's it's like a broader, it's like a big picture. It's bigger than me, basically. Is what I'm saying. It's bigger than me. It was more for um, black people in particular, who were being back then, or this has been 20 years in the making for me. As you see, I said it 2003 is when I first started my first business. So I'm speaking from back then when I first started. Now, today, again, is since everyone is seen now with the phones, with the social medias, with the games and everything, it's like no one can be stopped from doing anything, and that was the purpose. So if is there a group of people's life that's better because of it? I have seen, yes, that a lot of people's lives have been better. They've been able to get housing, they've been able to get jobs, they've been able to get or work from home and take care of their kids at the same time, like myself. They've been able to you know, get the vehicles and do the door dashes or the deliveries or receive funds through cash apps, and all of the things that has been integrated into the matrix, so to speak, because of, you know, just because of just connecting all of the things, the dots in the systems.
Got it.
Did that answer your
Um,
question?
yeah, no, that did answer. So you want your work, particularly in the game space, to positively impact players
Right,
and, yeah, just improve their quality of life in a very kind of tangible sense.
right. Without
Got
getting hit with the frequency that takes them out of the game.
it. Yeah, totally.
I've been
Got
hit
it.
with the frequency before, and I was taken out the game.
For sure.
So,
And your kind of work in these spaces, have you ever worked with a kind of third-party platform or tool to help with the development of a product, app, game, entertainment service?
oh yeah, I've worked with. You said answering service.
Yeah, or just like a third-party service. So
Oh
it could
right.
be anything from analytics to maybe something that helped you manage your inventory, anything like along those lines.
Yeah, I've worked with a lot. I work with Shopify. I work with oh man, all of the web building platforms, the GoDaddies, the Weebly's, the Wix, the WordPress, Big Cartel, Magento. I mean, I work with so many different applications, and so many. I work with recruiting, marketing, all the CJ commission junctions, the um, pay per clicks. I mean, you name it. I've worked with. If there are, uh, I work with YouTube, the social medias, all the social media platforms. If they have the analytics, or if they have viewings, or anything of that nature in their application, I probably have touched on it. um, Third party. What else? What else did you say besides? Oh, I work with Ring Central. I work with Pickup. All the CRM companies, Constant Contact. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think, thank you. That is very helpful.
Just
Like,
to
clearly
name
you've
a
worked with
few.
a lot. Yeah, so what were some of the kind of problems that you faced when trying to use other tooling? Were there any particular pain points or things that kind of prevented you from using a tool as much as you would like to?
Yeah, subscription fees. I mean, those just take you out. It's like that managing where your subscriptions come from and creating. It's like when you just want the subscription to keep going, but the fund's not in that account anymore, so you switch it to a different card. And so you start to switch so many different cards to where all of the subscriptions are coming from all over the place, and that creates like a budgeting issue sometimes. So, and that's not their fault. They have a subscription, and that's what you gotta pay for the service or whatever. But if we could figure out a way to where, I know there are apps that offer putting all your subscriptions into their platform, but then that's also a subscription that you gotta worry about. Which I mean, I may try that where I put all of the subscriptions into one platform, and see if that helps. But from my experience, that with that being a subscription also, it's like a contradiction kind of. But I mean, that's about it that has stopped me. Sometimes bugs, yeah. For instance, DreamHost. I know I worked with them recently, and I didn't like they have their websites go down a lot, and they have like white screen is what they call it, the dead space or whatever. So, and then you have to like redo everything or go through so much technical support to where to get it back going and things like that. But and it's just very time consuming, and
For sure. Are
it
there any
becomes
products or
repetitive.
platforms that you stopped using because you disliked them or because of some kind of usability issue?
That I stopped using them. Wix, I did put them all on their regular subdomain because instead of connecting my bought domain, sorry about that. I stopped. I put all of the websites I created on their platform. I put them on the regular Wix dot whatever their original domain. I put it on that because sometimes I feel like, even though I'm a Wix partner, I feel like they kind of extort you when it comes to if you want to only do like $14.99 plan, let's say, and then they'll jump up to $5. Well, you have to pay the whole year in order to use your website this way. And I'm like, wait, so you're saying if I don't pay $500 up front for the entire year, then you're just going to shut down my website? And to me, that's not fair. Like, because somebody might not have $500 for the entire year at that moment. So it's like, then you lose all functionality of your website until you can come up with that $500 to pay for the entire year. That's kind of extortion. And,
Yeah, no,
and if I want to only pay $22 or $14 a month, I should be able to do that. You shouldn't make me pay the entire year up front.
for
But
sure.
their business.
Got it. And so switching topics a bit here, I appreciate what you've told me so far, kind of about the hurdles about payments, particularly with subscriptions and some of the platforms that you've been using. Switching gears a bit here, what are your thoughts on Web3 technology? What do you think is the future of Web3?
I think it's what we've already made it. It's on and offline now,
Mhm.
meaning uh, everything is like things that are really only supposed to be happening online. They actually happen offline too now, and that's because of we as human beings are very good manifestors. So when we play things on, when we play things in that space, it can it can happen real time in real life on accident. Um, so, for instance, if you're playing Call of Duty online or in the metaverse, or you're doing fashion in the metaverse, you're buying land in the metaverse, depending on who the people are, it can affect your real life outside of the metaverse. So, meaning if you own property in the metaverse and you own property in virtual, you have people who will, if you lose everything in the metaverse, actually come and find the property that you own in real life and want to take it, not understanding that, hey, this is not real over here in the metaverse. But my property in real life is real, and you can't have that. So it's that, you have to be careful with attitudes and personalities in the metaverse versus in real life. Um, and even with fashion, like I was saying, like I created a snobmobfashion.com website that drop ships from China, and so my daughters are like my models, and they wear the stuff in real life that is really an online shop, but they are the promoters of the shop. Um, but I've run into where, even though that's only an online situation, I think some of the people have actually tapped into um, buying things in bulk from my drop shipping situation and creating their own stores real time here in my area. And so is so again, it gets bigger than what you think you're doing, so to speak.
Got it.
So that's just my thing, is that it starts to transfer from online to offline, and that's where I see it could be a gift and a curse.
Yeah. Now, for yes, kind of this connection you're talking about having the the purchases, the items in the metaverse have like kind of like a real life counterpart. So what are kind of your thoughts more specifically on a marketplace that incorporates Web3 technology? So items that were tied to kind of a digital wallet, the use of NFTs, things like that. What do you think would be the ideal outcome in this kind of situation?
A marketplace. Um, do you mean like OpenSea and
Yeah, exactly. So when you would purchase kind of an item, especially like in a game or something like
okay,
that, like you mentioned in Call of Duty is kind of famous for having these special skins. You can only purchase an item within that kind of game's ecosystem, right? But in like in a Web3 context, you'd be able to kind of take that item and bring it with you to multiple digital spaces through the use of a digital wallet or some other aspect of Web3 technology.
right. What do I think? What is your question?
Yeah, so my question is, I guess, what do you think would be the ideal outcome in this situation? So do you think this would be a value add for a marketplace in a game context, or do you think that this would potentially cause problems?
I
Kind
mean,
of what is your reaction?
it would definitely be competition because if another game offers the same thing, then then it would cause, their bottom line to be decreased because you're not having to buy those things in that game because you brought it from
Mm.
that game. Um, but I mean, competition is the name of the game. uh, Pun intended.
For
so,
sure.
I think it'd be awesome because who wants to keep rebuying um, whatever it is that you bought in this game and you can use it the same in a different game? I think it would be cool and it would save a lot for the user. May not be too good for the developer or the person who made the game, but yeah, for the user it would be great. Um, People would just have to be okay with not so much capitalism, but
Yeah,
that's what
that's
it's
a great
about.
point.
That's what it's about, though. So it's like I could see uh, games kicking a person out because of them not having like websites do. Like if you buy a domain from GoDaddy, they want you to transfer it to their platform. They don't want you to connect or forward your domain to your website on their platform. They want you to actually transfer it over to their website so that they can host and you design on their platform. And they'll do things to kind of almost make you have to do it, or they'll what do you call it, geofence your domain to where it's not receiving traffic because you're not paying for your domain to be connected on their platform. You're forwarding it. I've had that happen. So to me that would be the same thing with bringing stuff from one game to another game. I would think they would find a way to mess with the person about doing that. They probably would allow it, but in one way or the other, they'll find a way to penny pinch you. To
No, that
make
makes
you.
sense to me. So from a player's perspective, it would be a value add in that
Yeah.
you don't have to repurchase items in different games, and you can bring items from game to game. But from like a dev perspective, yes, the increased competition might force them to have to re-innovate on their side, and they would prefer to make it a closed ecosystem, is what you're saying.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. Okay. This has been super helpful, Ashley. I appreciate your time. Is there anything that you'd like to kind of add or clarify in terms of, yeah, marketplaces, in terms of leveraging Web3 technology, or in terms of using platforms to kind of create gamified experiences?
Um. Um. No, as long as it's safe, I think it's all fun. I mean, because life is sometimes can be boring, and if you can make money off of gaming, or if you can just make yourself feel better by just gaming, or stay out of trouble by gaming, I think it's great. I do think though we just can't really lose touch with reality that sits outside of our door.
Mm.
But no, I don't. I do. I mean, it's getting the AI that is starting to integrate into it is taking it way. It's it's good. I think it's gonna evolve humans. Period. I mean, it's already evolving us. I mean, I'm able to use the Chat GTP and oh man, it's like an assistant I've never had. So
For sure.
that mixed
Yeah.
in with the Web3, oh man, we're gonna be like this, outer space. that's where we
No,
are.
it's definitely, yes. I thought that was very cool too. Very cool background. Yes, no, it's an exciting time, and I bet, yeah, you've seen a lot of the changes happen too with starting your business way in the early 2000s. I'm sure the game has changed significantly, so to speak, in terms of just the landscape, and it will probably shift again, and we all have
Yeah,
to just keep reinventing ourselves.
yeah,
Awesome. Well, it was great to meet you,
You
Ashley.
too.
Here, let me stop the
I'm so
recording.
happy for you, what you're doing. This looks like it's so much fun.
Yes, no, it is very fun, and it's nice that I don't even have to build it or anything. I just tell them what I just report what other people are saying, and the other people get to make the product together. So it is
That's
a great gig, I
amazing.
have to say. And yes, in terms of
Are you in
next steps
school?
here. No, actually, I graduated somewhat recently, so like this is my first job out of school, so it's going
Congratulations.
well
That
so
is
far.
amazing.
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Um, yes. So in terms of the incentive, is this email okay? So Ashley. Oh man, sorry, I'm trying to pull it up right now. Oh, ladybugpromo@gmail.com. Is that
That's
okay?
fine.
Okay, and you want an Amazon US gift card, right?
That's fine. Sure.
Okay, perfect. So my manager is the one who needs to order it, and he does like the billing stuff. So it might take a bit of time for him to get to it, but it should be in like 1 to 2 weeks. In that
Okay.
at that email Ladybug promo.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is interesting to me regardless. So,
For sure. Thanks so much, Ashley, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye. Go where?
Huh?
Go where?
Jimmy's house.
You didn't say that.
I did.
No, babe. Look at your messages. But okay. Yeah, you could go for what time you get off?
Huh?
What time you get off?